Hello, I'm Wealth. I'm currently a fourth-year medical student of the University of Ibadan, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 steps to effectively prepare for your institution post-UTME examination. Because there are different modalities of this examination, different schools have different modes of this exam and different subjects actually. This video is going to be based on general tips that every student preparing for any institution post-UTME should know. Actually, I've been working on something I believe will be very helpful for you. I'm trying to build a platform where students seeking admission like you can actually connect with people from the institution you are seeking admission into. So you can get straight information, you can get material, you can share material, and you can also brainstorm with fellow students seeking admission into that institution. Right now, I'm currently working with a team of people building an app, but while the app is still in development, we're going to be using a Telegram group, and I'm going to be putting the link in the description below for you to join the group. I believe you can get straight direct information from students already in the school you are seeking admission into, and you can also brainstorm with friends. Now, having said that, let's go into the video. Okay, now the first of the 5 steps to effectively prepare for your institution post-UTME is to know your institution exam modality and stay connected. And the reason is this: like I've said before, all universities and polytechnics that write examination have different modes of examination. They have different kinds of questions they set exams on, and it's very important for you to know all of these things. So it's going to guide the way you are going to prepare for this examination. And also, do not just know this thing, but also stay connected, because sometimes there are some changes that are being made. Some changes are always made to the admission process. For example, a school can just decide a year they are going to stop doing examination, and they're going to be using probably 50% from your UTME, that's your JAMB, and 50% from your O-level, for example, your WAEC. And getting this information ahead of time can help you make informed decisions. For example, if you know that okay, the new mode of admission of the particular institution you chose that has just been changed is not going to favor the results you have, you can simply change to another institution. So it's important to know how the exam is being conducted for your institution first of all. So it's going to guide the way you prepare for the exam. Also, you should stay connected. You can stay connected by checking the official website of your school, or by connecting with groups of people that talk about such examinations. For example, what's the Telegram platform which we've created, you can easily get straight information. There are also many other platforms on Facebook, on WhatsApp, that you can always get straight information, and you can always get materials to prepare for your institution examination. So first tip, know about your institution and also stay connected. Step number 2 is to set a target and work towards it. You should look at the results you already have. When you know the modality of the institution you are applying to, of the University of the Polytechnic, you know how their aggregate is being calculated, and you have all this information. Then look at the results you already have. By now, you already have your O-level. Many of you already have your O-level result, and all of you definitely have your UTME result, which is your JAMB result. So you look at these 2 results and compare it with the previous cutoff mark for the course you are choosing in that particular institution, and see, okay, what score do I need to get in my post-UTME that's going to make me beat the previous cutoff point. So when you know this, you're going to be able to set a target that you're going to pursue for your post-UTME, and I would advise you to work very hard towards this thing. Like I've always said before, your getting admission is a competition actually, and many students are going to be applying for a limited slot, and the universities or institutions get to pick the best. So you have to strive very hard. And one thing I always tell myself when I was just like you preparing for this kind of exam was that, okay, I'm going to prepare very hard for this exam during this period of time, so I'm not going to repeat the process altogether. That is one of the ways I make myself sit for so long to study and remove distractions. At some point, I deleted my social media platform just to focus on studying for the exam. And you know, the interesting thing is that after the exam, you can get back to all those distractions again. So set the target and pursue it with all your might. Step number 3 is to start early. Like, it's no brainer. Starting early is something I've always advocated for. Like, when you're preparing for any exam, when you start early, it makes you cover a lot. It makes the whole studying process less stressful, and it makes you even confident by the time your exam is closed. And confidence is definitely something that is always helpful during examinations. So start now. I know some of you already know when, like, the likely date your post-UTME examination is going to come up, and you may not even know, but whether you know it or not, just start now. Even if your exam is very far away from now, you should start preparing. Even if you are doing very little every day, it's going to amount to something great in the long run. So start now and stay consistent. The next step is to use the right material to study. Like I've said before, every institution have different modes of examination. They have different expectations from their students and from the students that are going to be writing the exam from such institution. For example, here we set questions for you based on the UTME, based on the JAM syllabus, and you're going to be writing exactly the same combination you wrote in your JAM. So if you wrote, for example, you wrote math, English, chemistry and physics in your JAM, that's the same combination you're going to be writing in your post-UTME for UI. And the standard is very similar. So when you're preparing for UI post-UTME, you're going to be using the O-level materials which you use to prepare for JAM. But that's not the same case for many other institutions. For some institutions, regardless of the course you are going for, whether you are going for law or for accounting or for mathematics, all of you will be writing the same examination. Some institutions just write mathematics, English and general knowledge. So having this information will help you get the right material. So study with the right material. Another way you could get the material is by joining groups. For this kind of exam, I think it's important to connect with people that are well knowledgeable about the institution of your choice, and they can share materials which will be truly valuable. For example, when I was preparing for my own UI post-UTME back then, that was when I was introduced to LAMLAD series. I never knew about LAMLAD. So when they told me, oh, LAMLAD is very helpful for preparing for UI post-UTME, they told me the reasons why. I got this because the reasons seem reasonable to me. I'm not advising you to get all the textbooks they advise you to get, obviously. And now, like, there are even PDF copies of most of the textbooks. You can actually get soft copy of them. So this LAMLAD, I got it and I genuinely found it helpful, and I've always recommended it to students seeking admission into UI. So make sure you get the right materials and make sure you study them very well. Another part of the material is past question. You should also get past. So make sure you get the right materials and make sure you study them very well. Another part of the material is past question. You should also get past question, which leads us to the next tip: practice a lot of questions. For this exam, like, one of the most important things to prepare for your post-UTME is by practicing enough past question. Right now, you should be practicing questions every day. Practice exhaustively. Just keep practicing. Actually, you're going to be coming across so many past questions, especially if you are in communities. Maybe you are on brainstorming groups on Facebook, or you got groups on Telegram. There are always plenty groups like that, and some of them are quite helpful. But make sure you're not joining too many that you get distracted, because they can be quite distracting as well. So you're going to see questions, and some institutions actually provide their official past questions to you. Yes, their UI, for example, provides you with a practice question once you register for the exam, though it is just about 100 questions for each of the topics you are going to be writing. This question has things you should practice judiciously. Practice enough questions for schools that are going to be setting questions based on the O-level syllabus or based on the JAM syllabus. I think JAM past question is also going to be very helpful. Just make sure you are practicing enough questions, and practice question not to memorize the question, because the chances of them repeating a question word for word is quite slim. But you should practice questions so that you're going to see the lapses you have. You're going to see the gaps in your knowledge, and you'll be able to fill those gaps So if you notice that, okay, anytime I'm solving past questions, I always feel questions on question tag. For example, in English, I always feel questions on comprehension passages. Then, okay, I think I don't know comprehension passages very well and I should learn it. So this is the way to use past question. And another way to use past question is to increase your speed, which is actually leading to the next step. The next step is to work on your speed. For most of these exams, they are actually not so difficult that you can't solve. I mean, general Post-UTME is not difficult, but there's always a time restriction. They're always giving you a time that seems like impossible for you to finish the question. And practicing to solve these questions in very short time will give you an edge. So as you are practicing these past questions, don't just practice them. Make sure you are practicing them under the exam conditions. If your school is going to be giving you, let's say, 100 questions in 40 minutes, for example, when you're practicing the past question, always have this in mind. And something I notice about speed is that the more you practice, the faster you get. So that's why just keep practicing question and put in mind that you need to increase your speed. The more you practice, the faster you get at solving this question. And the final but not the least step is to put everything into God's hands. Some things are definitely going to be out of your own control. If you put it into God's hand, it can make things easier for you and it can make everything work together for your good. So just keep praying and trust God that as you are doing your part, God is going to bless your efforts. He's going to crown your efforts with great success. So thank you if you're still watching to this point. Please like this video if you do like it, and if you don't like it because I'm asking you to do that. So subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and share this video with someone you feel might find it helpful. And subsequently, though I have very limited time to do this because I'm busy with medical school stuff and I have other engagements, but I've committed to having interviews. But I've decided I'm going to have interview with students from various institutions on this channel, and they're going to be sharing their insights into how to prepare effectively for the exams, because there's just so much I know about different schools. There are so many institutions out there. So subscribe so you are not going to miss this, and also join the Telegram link. I think you can have direct access to these wonderful people, and you can also get to brainstorm with friends from the group. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye bye.